So I've decided that I would start this second channel for a few reasons. First of all is I really want to keep my audience posted in terms of how my main channel is doing. Because this video, my last video, let's just jump in. We'll jump in and improvise as we go. First thing that you gotta know is this is not going to be an organized channel. It's not going to be a professional channel. It's certainly not going to be heavily edited like my main videos are. That's for the good quality stuff on Cleverly Stupid, alright? Here is mainly going to be like your behind the scenes or just anything that I really want to talk about that I just wouldn't have time to say because it just takes so long. Like, if we just jump in, like, as we all know, these upload rates are slow. And sometimes I get delayed, sometimes I burn out, and it mainly just comes down to how I work and me figuring out how to keep a consistent rate. But even with a consistent rate, I can just never do these fast enough for YouTube to give a damn. So a second channel will be very handy for me to just upload easier stuff, but upload easier stuff more frequently. Mainly so I can draw more attention to the big man here, because I've poured my heart and soul into this, okay? Like, I love this channel so much, I get so much worthwhile out of it, and it just pays off whenever I get just each one of these done. So I want to use this channel to do that. Because I've been branching out on other platforms and the whole like as well, just to kind of increase my presence online. And it feels like these days that's what you've got to do in order to just stand a chance. It's not that it's all been bleak though, because if we just, before we cover the boy, because this is what we're going to talk about today, but thanks to this video, which I'm also just so proud of, it's thanks to this video that I shot from 100 people to 333 subscribers. And that was great. But obviously, I'm not gonna hit that much success every single time. I covered Cult of the Lamb with the intent of maybe reaching out to more people and getting a bit more noticed, but because, for example, this is going to be the format of these videos, by the way, so if you're not interested on what's going on screen, that's fine, because for folk who have stuck around anyway, my idea is to just be something to listen to as well. But yeah, going back to my point, yeah, this is my library. We can explore some of this at some point if you'd like. Just let me know. That's the other thing. This is basically going to be a spaghetti video because I have no idea how I'm going to do it moving forward, but I think as long as it's there, it's just something. But anyway, I digress. The idea is, okay, so the number's been going down a little bit. But anyway, the idea was, my thought was, because there was still just plenty people playing Cult of the Lamb, and it's a great game, I thought it was maybe just popular enough that I could have scooped a bit more attention for the channel, but it didn't quite work out that way. So if you're not interested in this kind of thing, that's fine. But if you are, don't worry, I've got you covered, because I'll be doing like behind the scenes stuff every now and again. I'll be posting updates, or rather just keeping you updates in videos like this, just to let you guys know how things are going. And I'm just trying to make it bigger, so without further ado, in a time when the world was young, and demons ran unfettered across the face of the earth, the powers that be gave us That's the first thing I got. So, this little line here that I did, it's a line from a From a game. From a game. Dude.
In a time when the world was young and demons ran unfettered across the face of the earth, the powers that be chose a young woman.
I just loved that line so much, and I always try to just fill my videos with like just little references like that, whether people will get it or not. It just kind of embodies my growing up on like just older games and stuff like that. Just things from back in the day that just stuck with me growing up. And I love to kind of bring them back here, no matter what the effect is. That's kind of the other thing. Like, half of the videos I make are kind of for me as well. So I feel like as long as I'm enjoying them, surely someone else is going to be enjoying them as well, which I get feedback all the time. Like, folks just people always tell me that they just love the work that I do as well, and it's, man, I'm proud of it, man. I'm proud of it. In fact, I think even like just down here, yeah, fucking people always just like stumble across this channel and they're just shocked. We're just kind of stunned at how good it is for the size. So yeah. Oh my god.
Time when the world was young and demons ran unfettered across the face of the earth. The powers that be gave us Tamagotchis, a nifty.
Again, this was just like one of those things that I grew up on from back when I was in primary school. Like, it wasn't this version though. It was not this version. It was these were one of them, but it wasn't the first one. But I guess no. I did. Here we go. This was the version of Tamagotchi that I started off on. And again, it's like I just love to include these things, as well as just memes that I like as well. Fucking Ivar, the staring cat. Fucking love it, man.
You could play mini games on this thing.
Instantly right here is a game that I will cover one day. I am going to cover this game one day. Fucking Hotline Miami, man, is probably what directed me to games other than Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto and that sort of thing. I think by the time I got onto the Xbox 360, I kind of got stuck playing Call of Duty all the time. And like, I think like most people who play games like that, it's just not as enjoyable if you're not good at the game. Or rather, if you get too attached to how well you're doing or something like that. The main game that set it all off for me was Hotline Miami. And I'll be forever grateful to it. It's my favorite game. So, yeah. To anyone who spot that, I will not stop referencing Hotline Miami, okay? It's thanks to this game that I exist, okay? I would perish without it.
Connect with others and even piss off every primary school teacher who heard this fucking sound. No one.
This is a true story, by the way. That wasn't the same sound because I couldn't find. Well, no, you could find it in like a YouTube, but it's difficult. That's kind of a thing that's difficult to do sometimes when looking for sound effects or just something specific, is you have to be able to dig it up or know what the thing is called. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time. And I guess in this case, I had a hard time finding all of the Tamagotchi sound effects because I guess they're not really archived on the internet because the Tamagotchi was like not that kind of device. But I think I got the point across anyway. And yes, it was a true story. Like, fucking back in primary school, Tamagotchis were the popular thing, and you couldn't get through a day without one of these things going off, and it was definitely enough to just like for schools to just start banning these things because they made such fucking noise. I think by the time they released these versions, you could mute them, but that still didn't stop it from happening because, of course, people are gonna forget to mute the things, and you still couldn't get through a day without the things making their blinky blonky noises and the whole like. I think the other thing as well, the downside of that to us was that our Tamagotchis would keep dying, and that was a bad day if you were at school and you got like one of the fucking pets that you really wanted, because it takes work to do. There would be genuine tears sometimes from like us 4 to 5 year olds fucking getting upset because we could never hear when our pets were dying. And yeah, you could also pause them as well, but some of us weren't so lucky sometimes. Dude, this was a mood of a time to exist. Fucking Tamagotchis, man.
No one gives a damn about these anymore. But we'll...
I think this is how most of the community, this fucking bit right here represents how most of us Tamagotchi users feel, because they're just not supported anymore. Well, actually, we're gonna go off on a fucking side tangent here. What was it? Like, new Tamagotchi. If I type that, let's see. New Tamagotchi. This is also a part of what these videos are gonna be. Like, I will digress and just dive into stuff to talk about, and just be a nice bit of background noise to listen to. That's what this channel is all about, you know? That's what it's gonna be about, I think. But let's see, new Tamagotchi. What is it? The Unitam? That's the one. That's the new one right here.
I wanted to show you guys what doing a Tama search looks like.
So amazingly, Tamagotchis are still a thing, and this is the newest one that I think came out in, was it? So what's that? The Tamagotchi Uni. Yeah, no, this thing came out in 2023. What's that? Well, just 2 years ago. Yeah, just 2 years ago. Yeah, these things are still going, and the idea is they're trying to bring it back with a much more compatible system for today's standards. So what was it? Their last one was very weird. I did pick one up, and it wasn't the greatest, because the main thing that bugged me was that they didn't use buttons anymore. They were so obsessed with being touchscreen devices, and it just didn't work with whatever hardware that they were working with. But it looks like they're kind of going back to the base thing. Their designs still aren't really that interesting. Yeah, they still look a little bit like bars of soap. Because if you look at the, oh my god. Tamagotchi, what's that, like version 3? Dude, the designs for the old ones were fantastic, and they were so compact as well, and had these nice patterns, and they were just overall just a stylish thing to have on hand. I think it's a part of why they were so popular in the first place, because they were just eye-catching, you know. But not like, I'm still glad that they're like giving us
I wanted to show you
to work with. Maybe I'll get one day, but nah. I think I'm kind of, especially because I've got a cat now, and yeah, I'm already looking after that thing, so I don't really need a digital pet to look after. But no, I'm so glad that these exist again. But anyway.
But what would the spooky season that's
Coming on, because this is a
This video was supposed to come out in Halloween, because I thought I had the time to do it, but a handful of things went wrong. So the first thing was my fault. I was just so indecisive. I was so goddamn indecisive on what game I wanted to cover. And it ended up not really making a difference. The original game I wanted to do for Halloween was Crow Country. This game is magnificent. I beat it once, and I'm gonna beat it again, because man, it's just a Resident Evil game, but it's just fantastic, man. The shooting in the game feels really satisfying as well. But the atmosphere, it's so comfy. It's so comfy spooky, if you know what I mean. It's like Coraline. It's like Coraline, where it's like a spooky film, but it's comfy at the same time because it's just got all of this aesthetic about it. It feels like a PlayStation 1 game in the best way, especially the safe rooms, man, are so atmospheric, man. So I wanted to do this game originally, but I ended up settling with Cult of the Lamb because I thought, well, Cult of the Lamb has a player base right now. Pro Country does not, so I figured it was not going to be easy to catch attention with Crow Country. But that's not the only thing that went wrong, because what was it? I already made a script for this game, flipped my mind, because it usually takes like a week to do that, and then luckily I hadn't really recorded any game footage yet, so I thought, fuck it, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write a script for Cult of the Lamb, and hopefully if I get it out in time for Halloween, because Cult of the Lamb is, it's not a spooky game, but it's kind of fitting for the time. I think that's kind of where I lucked out a little bit, because if I made a video on Crow Country, I think there would have been a lot of Halloween references, and yeah, that wouldn't have been the most fitting time to have released a video like this. The other thing that went wrong was I figured it was time to upgrade my laptop. So I ordered a new one, and it took ages to come. And when the new one came, the screen was not what I was looking for at all. So I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll return it and get a new one. And then the new one came, and it didn't match the page I was looking for. What was it that I was getting? It was like an Asus or something. That was the one of these guys, the Rock Strix. And apparently, Asus have a little bit of a dodgy reputation with their laptop screens, because they basically lie to anywhere that's not America about the quality of their screens. So what I got was, what was it? I think it was an IPS display I was looking for, which is a nerdy term. And instead, I got an LCD display. And those are not as colorful as the IPS ones, and I wasn't happy. So by the time I ordered a different one from a different place that was still an Asus and I got it, it was still the same problem, and I was upset. So now I was in this situation where I had to get to work on this video knowing that I would have to transfer it over to a new laptop. So after the mind-numbing nightmare that was returning these bloody laptops and looking for one that would fit my needs, because it's so difficult to find a system that you're looking for. What did I settle for? So the one that I've got now, which took probably about a month to get overall, looking for a new laptop, was there's my boy. That's my boy right there. I was surprised because the market or the tech people really like this laptop for its performance, because I needed a better processor was the main thing. Though the thing that I'm not used to, well, I've gotten used to it about now, but it took me some time to adapt to, and it creates some complications for editing. And that's what's the fancy word for it? What's the fancy word for that? You know, that thing that I'm doing here, the dimensions, was the dimensions of the screen. It's not a 16 by 9, it's a 16 by 10. And YouTube videos are typically done in 16 by 9. So it took me some getting used to, but honestly, I kind of really like it. even though it requires me to like flip through some hoops to get the thing done. But the next thing that went wrong was my editing software went kaput when I moved it over to the new laptop. So I basically had to start the project all over again when I'd already done a few days worth of editing, and I was done. I was so done, man. But you know, I'm strong. I'm a strong boy, and I picked it up and I got back to work. And then I think the final thing was don't worry, we'll do this in order, but the final thing not went wrong, but it was an extra thing I had to take care of, and that was I've got a cat now. I think I like her. She's alright. She's lovely on some days, and then on others, she's just a fucking nightmare. So it was mostly just kind of sussing out a routine to look after her, do my full-time job, and look after a cat now, because I've never looked after a cat on my own before. But eventually I kind of got into the routine, and then I burnt out halfway through the video. So that must have been when I got around, which by the way, this took ages to edit. Simply because my girl cannot sit still for a second. So catching her just laying down and just being cute took days. It took days to catch her doing this. But not only that, to be doing it against just a solid colored thing. But the day I did it, I just snuck up on her with the camera. Her natural reaction to that. Her natural reaction to that, just being this look of shock on her face, being like, what the? Just saying, "Ooh, camera, I'd be filmed." Pop eyes. Oh my god. As you can tell, yes, I do love this cat. She's adorable. But she winds me up. But that's about the whole shape of everything that went wrong making this video. So many things got in the way. Because sometimes a video takes longer, and it's just because I struggle to keep a fucking pace doing the thing. But in this case, it wasn't all my fault, okay? Leave me alone. I was really happy with how this compilation turned. I always love doing this with my game reviews now, where I make a little compilation thing that kind of gives you an idea of what you're in for when you play the game. Because I think what most people will observe about my videos is there's not a lot of actual gameplay footage throughout these videos. It's mostly just memes that I put together and edits and that sort of thing to spice up my presentation, stand out a little bit. So I think compilations like that just kind of help put together a general idea of what people are in for, and just helps them decide whether they want the game that I'm even talking about in the first place. Because a fair amount of it is going to be me explaining it, and you kind of got to balance that out with just remembering to show people what the game is. I think the time that, when did I first even start that? Because I didn't always do that. Not all the time. Let's see. The first time that I did that was after the Hi-Fi Rush video, which I am not proud of, by the way. It's not that it's bad, but it's boring. It's very boring. But that was it. Yeah, ever since then, I was just like, nah, I gotta keep doing this. This is great. It just helps. It just hypes the video in more than one way. It's very multi-purpose. fantastic shot of the cat though. I never thought I would get quite as lucky as that. Because she's such a poser, and that was perfect. The day I captured it, I was like, oh yes, this is going in the video. I always try to kind of keep folk posted in subtle ways when I'm doing these videos, and using the cat was basically my subtle way of saying, yeah, we got a new addition to the house now. I don't think everyone's really going to get it. I'm without a doubt that a majority of people are going to see this bit and go, ha, funny cat. But not really associate it with, it's my cat. This is my cat. She lives with me now.
Exploitative drug use, slave labor, cannibalism, emotional abuse, side hoes, etc. This cult.
I think in this video I kind of exercised my cartoony voice a little more as well. I'm always iffy about using my exaggerated voices because I feel like they're just not going to stick very well. But in this case, and I might change my mind in the future, but I really did enjoy the sound. I enjoy doing the exaggerated voices that just aren't really my own, and I think this one came out pretty nice. It wasn't too much, I think.
Then reap the rewards by teaching them all that being the next tentacle tie protagonist is a beautiful thing.
I'm always nervous using this kind of humor on modern YouTube because you just never know when you're gonna get called out by a robot behind a fucking algorithm that's gonna be like, nope, can't do that. It's 2025 now. We're not allowed to do anything anymore. That's why I usually keep humor like this to it's there and then it's gone sort of thing.
Consume endless gallons of cum. Consume healthier.
Again, as you notice, I mostly just try to make it it's there and then it's gone before anyone notices sort of thing.
Consume healthy amounts of homemade organic vegan whole milk to grow big and
fucking okay. Yeah. This is why I love this job, because it makes me laugh, and I don't know how weird that is to laugh at your own work, but sometimes I just do a thing.
Organic vegan whole milk.
Stitches, bro. I think it's like the fact that I decided I gotta make these eggs white and put the word milk in it to make sure they know. Yeah. To anyone wondering, my work does make me laugh, and that's why I love doing YouTube, man. I really want to get big, man, so I can get paid to do this, just so I can do it more, man. This is fucking...
What the fuck are you doing here? Were you a good person or something? Where's your copy of Stardew Valley? To Animal Crossing, loser? You think there's an eternal reward? Cuisine.
So, everything from this part of the video to the melon part of the video, that was all voice-wise, that was all done in one take. But I just knew it was gonna be way too annoying if I just carried on, or no, if I just kept the whole one take in one go. So my idea was I had to break it up with this little bit here, just to, you know, let folk catch their breath a bit. But let it be known, I did all of that in one take. One singular continuous sentence, and I was proud of that because that's not easy to do, especially when you're speaking so goddamn fast and with such high energy.
Isaac lived alone in a small Isaac.
Again, This effect took ages, man. It was worth it though. It was worth it though. The last time I did an effect like that, I kind of learned the effects that I do along the way, and I try to just apply them again to later videos. It's kind of how I grow as an editor, I guess. First time I did an effect like that, and it just took me ages, bro. Let's see if I can find it. Right here, I think. Yeah, there we go. The Skittles bit. Again, like, this took me ages, man. Not this part necessarily, but this bit here, trying to get it all behind the Skittles and that. And it got to a point where I was wondering, am I wasting my time, man? But I think it paid off again. It was just this nice little noticeable detail and so satisfying to watch that made me think, you know what? Nah, that was worthwhile. I've got to do stuff like that again. So that's basically what I did. And to keep up to speed, because, like, you never have enough time to make it perfect, so at least when it's all moving fast and the like, you can kind of get away with making it roughly look like that, so when it all plays out, in the end, you don't notice it too much when things are, like, shaking about and moving and fast and things like that. But yeah, no, I like this bit. The thing that's going to annoy me, and I just know it, is that people are... We're at that point where, like, some people are starting to not know what the Binding of Isaac is anymore. So, hopefully... I just want... I don't mind... The thing, I don't mind if people don't always catch my references in the video, as long as they're still enjoying it. But I want some people to at least, like... Just let me know. Let me know if there's ever bits that you recognize and just be like, yo, it's the Binding of Isaac. Because I know it's still popular, right? The Binding. I haven't played this game in a long time. The Binding of Isaac. The Binding. People still play this. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. But it seems to have wriggled its way. It seems to have wriggled its way into the obscure-ish territory where most people I talk to just don't know what the Binding of Isaac is. So it makes me worry that half of the stuff I reference in my videos are just going to go over people's heads. And with a joke like this that's so upfront, the Binding of Isaac, some people just aren't going to get it. Especially if you listen.
And his Isaac lived alone in a small Isaac on an Isaac.
Though it...
Again, just one of these fantastic memes. Dude.
Isaac and his Isaac lived alone in a small Isaac on an Isaac.
Fucking brain rot, bro, and I love it. Stuff like this video lives on in my heart, man. The Isaac of Isaac.
Though it do the whole knock-a-clonk-a-logs on a nox-knockhead.
The first time I did that, I'll probably do it like every now and again, the whole knock-a-clonk-a-logs on a nox-knockhead. That I made up on the spot, and I'm proud of it, so I will repeat it. Maybe every third video, so that's probably like every 3 decades. When was the first time I did that? That was done in my Pizza Tower video when I was kind of trying to get into this.
Gather all the greasy gunk you can. Knock a clonker on this head's knock, then
Goodness me, my voice sounded a bit different from back then. That's the other thing that I've been trying to do with each new video that I put out, is just try to develop my calmer and deeper voice, because you'll probably notice the farther back you go in my videos, my voice just gets higher, like, is a game. Now listen to the difference when I say is a game in an earlier video. I'm not using the Pizza Tower one because that one makes me makes me jolt a little bit. You can go watch it for yourself, but I'm not. Just, anytime I look at like the first few now this is not my first channel, by the way. I've been doing this for probably about 6 or 7 years now, but my original channel that I would do this on, I had to let go of because of complicated family reasons. Maybe I'll get into that one day, just not today. And I think it's why people are so surprised sometimes when they see my editing and they're like, damn, you're like really good for a guy who just started out. It's like, I never really started, well, now I'm kind of starting out like properly, but yeah, no, I've been doing this for a long time, so it's kind of why I'm pretty decent at editing a video to make it seem like just the real deal. I think it's just getting the thing noticed. And I shouldn't have too much of a problem growing, which again is why I've just started the second channel, so I can kind of catch people's attention more often, is the idea. But what was I doing again? Oh yeah. Let's see. Listen to the difference in my voice when I say things. What is it? Oh wait, I don't say it's a game in this. Whatever.
Old-fashioned first-person shooters.
Hold on.
The time when the world was young.
And it's like, in here, during these days, my voice was just a bit cramped. And what do I mean by that? I was always just a little bit tense, trying to get... And it was worse in my old channel. It was so much worse in my old channel. But I'm kind of trying... I've just been learning to relax a bit more in front of the microphone and not seize up so tightly all the time when speaking out my lines. I think the main difference that came learning to do that was standing up and recording rather than sitting down and recording. Now right now I'm sitting down and recording, but it feels a little different because all I'm doing is sipping my tea and just saying things as they pop into my head.
This is mainly a Chow Garden game.
So, one thing I'm a little nervous about since my Sonic the Hedgehog videos, because the main things that I started with this channel was a Sonic the Hedgehog video. Now, my relationship with this stupid blue character is I love the idea of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I want the games to be good, but they're not typically, although I might have lied a little bit okay. The Sonic the Hedgehog games have just not been good for a good what? When was the last good Sonic the Hedgehog game that we can all agree on? I would say, what was it like? Okay, here we go. Right. So, I have a crippling obsession with Sonic the Hedgehog, and I really want the games to be good because I love the idea of just rolling and going fast and just the smoothness that could be Sonic the Hedgehog gameplay. Luckily, if you check out my last video, we got a good 3D Sonic game in there, but we haven't had a good official Sonic the Hedgehog game since what? Let's see. The last good one, other than Mania. Mania doesn't count, okay? Because it wasn't made by Sonic Team, okay? They were just brought. It's a fan game, okay? They're not allowed. Sonic Team is not allowed the credit for Sonic Mania, okay? I'm not having it. But the last good Sonic the Hedgehog game before that had to have been Sonic Generations. I think most of us can agree on that. And that game came out in 2011. And yeah, we're 2025? How long's that? Fucking, that's over 10 years, isn't it? Let me do the math real quick. 14 years ago, we had a good Sonic the Hedgehog. 14 years is too long. Sonic Team don't know what they're doing, and they're not going to make a good game again. Well, that's what I initially thought. Because I thought, fucking...
we've seen from the shitfest to this day.
I thought this game was going to be bad. It wasn't. This was actually a good Sonic the Hedgehog game. So to all Sonic fans out there, I severely apologize because I made this assumption before the game even came out. But you can't blame me too much because we had 14 fucking years of no good Sonic games, okay? I don't care what you say about Sonic Frontiers, it is a shitty, bland open world experience with Sonic mechanics. I will not elaborate.
Devil be damned if a man shan't provide, no matter the cost.
That scream I love so much. Oh, I love that scream so much. It comes from the fucking Oddworld games. Let me show you, man. This is a game that I intend to cover properly one day. I did reference it once in my Little Nightmares video, but I'm going to do the Oddworld games because these were like one of the first games I'd ever played. Dude, I played this when I was, 3 years old or so, maybe even 2. I'm not kidding. Fantastic personality this game bloody has, but one day I will get around to these games because Oddworld, man. God damn.
Ramble him to death again for laying his filthy paws on one of my 10 wives. Disgusting.
I think this is the first time in a while that I just love rewatching segments in my videos. And say what you will, but this, again, just makes me fucking smile, man. Just doing stupid little bits like this. And incorporating the sound effects is quite fun as well, because, like, what I do is I just, like, remove all of the noise from the scenes that I edit, and I just kind of incorporate my own sound effects into the thing. Most people will probably not really notice this, but... Disgusting. I mean, well, no, that's obvious, the fucking scream and shout, but it's like the smashing of the windows, I kind of re-implemented that myself. It's mainly just to remove like all of the speaking in the original scenes so I can use my lines over them and still make it seem natural.
It's comedic, despicable, and evil, and it's great.
Yes, I liked Squid Game. It wasn't the best out there, but Squid Game was a fun idea. They didn't stick with the idea sometimes, because, what was it? Wasn't there that one bit where they decided, oh, we all got to kill each other now? I thought the idea was to kill off the players in, like, children-style games. But then there just came, like, points in the series where they were like, we ran out of ideas, make them kill each other.
Now, the whole execution is simple, yes, but effective. It sells you, it submerges you into this goo.
I love doing stuff like that in these videos. They take so long to do, and yet they're a bit of a headache, but it's so worth it in the end, especially when I watch over them again, when I've kind of lost all hope, and I'm there like, this can't have been worth it, man. And then I'll re-watch it over. And look at that, man. It's just smooth, man. It's just smooth. It's smooth, man. It's smooth, man. I'm proud. I'm not going to talk about this film today. Not today.
build your own pocket of toxic madness from beginning to end.
Cult of the Lamb.
Now I'm a bit upset because I made a mistake. I made a mistake rendering this part of the video. So for some reason, once I was done with the video, every time it would get to rendering this part, it would crash. And I had no idea what was going on because it wasn't even a complex effect I was using. It was literally just fading from one take
To end.
to the next. And the program was crashing on it for some reason. And that's just one of the many perks of using bloody Vegas Pro. I use it because it's what I know. And I feel like relearning something like Premiere and paying monthly for something like that is not worth it. But yeah, what you're going to get from Vegas is it just crashes a lot. It bugs out a lot. It went kaput when I had to put it on a new computer and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm a bit upset now. I'm salty now because, I mean, no one will really care, but what it was supposed to do was the screen was supposed to zoom out. It was supposed to, hold on.
From beginning.
It was supposed to zoom. No, hold on. I'm gonna try and time this right. It was supposed to. It was supposed to zoom out while fading into the new stuff. And it's a small thing, and it doesn't really matter, but it bugged me because it's like now it's just a static shot of the thing fading into the other, and it didn't feel as cinematic, you know. I basically forgot to fix it when I fixed the crashing thing, and I think I was just like how I always am once I get to the end of editing a video is I'm just a little bit tuckered out, and I just want it to be done now. And the cost of that was not realizing that I left out the zooming effect, so that was a bummer, but it was no major loss.
Cult of the Lamb.
Had a.
Again, I just love doing stupid little things like this. And I think it just helps that most of the jokes that I do now don't linger so much. Like, I always had this problem in my earlier videos where any bit that I would do would go on for just a bit. It's just uncomfortably long. Not like ages, but uncomfortably long. Let me show you.
To the many
Yeah, no, this is one that kind of sticks in my brain when it came to jokes that I just kind of dragged out for a bit too long.
To the many unfortunate souls dwelling among this miserable planet with nothing more than boat and sword. Because this
It just keeps going.
is Britain.
And it keeps going. And it keeps going. Just this sort of it's the
And as the Chumpanonking
it's like the patriotism joke, but it keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. And I think maybe even the voice I put on was like maybe a little bit. And what bums me out the most about when I did this was sometimes there were good ideas in it, such as
Cup of tea in it.
cup of tea in it. There's sometimes just like worthwhile things in there, but when I rewatch them, I can't help but be a little bit extinguished when I've been dragged through all of the prior stuff, and it's yeah, I tried to make my pacing style a little more snappy, that sort of thing. Just so it doesn't like exhaust anyone when they're watching it. I mean, it's probably not even so bad for anyone else, but for me, it's exhausting sometimes.
Now the whole execution is simple, yes, but effective.
It's and I know we watched it already, but just little things like this just feel so satisfying to me to watch. Maybe it's just because I'm the one who put it together, but there's just something nice about,
Great.
especially
Now the whole execution
but like the thing in the pan and like the stick on top
is
and
simple,
being pressed
yes,
down,
but
and then the little
effective.
munch.
It sells.
I just I'm trying to do this stuff more because I made my editing a lot simpler in some videos so I could get them done faster, but it just wasn't worth it. I think one video that reflected that quite a bit. Let's see, I'll be able to tell from my upload schedule. What was it? Very good video, by the way, my Go Mecha Ball one, but this one here. I know there was my Sulaco one, and I think what was lacking about that video for me was I got it all done in 1 month, and I was proud of that. I was glad to have gotten a video done. That was like, I think the fastest I'd ever done. It might have not even been a month. I think it was like 20-something days. But the cost of that was the editing, the gimmicks, the jokes, that sort of thing, were just not as prominent as they could have been. And I think that left, I mean, the funniest joke in this was probably my Discord call one. And it went on for a little while. But I think it was like the funniest part of the video. And it was only just this one bit, while the rest of it was just a bit generic. Like, let me pull this up again. I'll see how I feel about it.
Bro,
Sorry, man.
did you play the game yet, bro?
Yeah, shite.
Are you kidding me? I'm supposed to have it done by now. I need to drop these people's minds, bro.
It's shit.
It's good, bro.
Bro, I would rather.
Bro, you.
Yep. Now, this was great. I think the only thing that bummed me out a little bit was the fact that this was such a great bit in a mediocre video. This was me and my brother, who he wanted to dip his toes in like featuring in one of my videos. And I thought that was a great idea. So this was basically a gag that him and I came up with together. And it was probably a bit exhausting for him to do because we had to keep retaking this one conversation so I could have enough to like put together just a seamless argument of us just fighting on Discord. And it was so worth it, but I just wish it wasn't in such a be done with it video sort of thing. And it's a shame because this is a fantastic game as well, and I don't think I did it justice, but that but anyway, yeah, I try to include more complex editing now because when it came to the rest of it, like, what was it? Yeah, you know, like, yeah, that was alright, but the most of it, let's see, what else? Yeah, just kind of using clips of things and putting text over it. It wasn't me doing it is what it felt like. It felt like it wasn't me making the video as much as it was the internet making the video for me, if you know what I mean. So I try to incorporate more from scratch gimmicks and gags in my videos now, because that was just like 2 videos ago, and I made the decision, no, I gotta stick with my complex editing because it just pays off a hell of a lot more. And even though it takes longer, it's still just worth it. So it's again why I've decided I need to do a second channel so I can put more stuff up and still grow and not have to sacrifice the time it takes to make more complex stuff. It's not that it's not in my older video, like this, I love this video and it's full of like so much great little gimmicks and gags and stuff like that. Not as much as these do, but Yeah, it was like mainly my Space Beast Terrafright one and my Sulaco one that I tried doing simple effects for, and it just, it wasn't worth it. I'm sticking with the complex stuff.
To see it persist and improve over the past 2 years, to see people appreciate it for what it always wanted to be. It's super rare to see games eventually recover and succeed like this, and look.
Yeah, and usually like around the end of the video is when I kind of let go of the humor and just be genuine for a second so I can let the people know that yes, I'm not taking the mick out of this game, I just recommend it. I just like being funny about it. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up.
If it's a rating
the
you're wanting
outro
to
screens though is what I am most proud of, man. I just, oh my god, yeah. I'm so proud of like what I do at the end of them. It just feels so. It just feels so high. It's just great. It just feels great, even to me, just watching that. All the patterns in the background and like the. I love pink and bright blues, or the typical way that people say is hot pink and cyan. I was into that stuff as soon as I was into Hotline Miami. That was what got me into those colors. And TikTok came along, and now everyone loves it. Ever since Synthwave, that sort of stuff became popular, and I think Hotline Miami is partially responsible for it. So I realized that I'm not special, but still, I love these two colors in combination, and man, I love these outro screens, man. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with how this video came out. I was so worried that I wouldn't be able to hold a candle to this video because I put my all into my Sonic the Hedgehog one. Because I was talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, so I knew people were going to find it. Like, Sonic the Hedgehog blows up on YouTube. But I refuse to be a Sonic channel, even though I love Sonic the Hedgehog. And I want it to be good. But yeah, it's definitely a style of video that I'm sticking with. This is not going to get much different other than me just improving more and more on like what I'm able to do in editing and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Again, if for whatever reason you're new here, I implore that you just check out this channel and, you know. Oh god, how do I do an outro sequence in a format like this? I don't know. Bye.